alien fruit framework. This is the framework of whenever we were in Florida, we got the alien fruit. I was initially disappointed because I took one bite of the fruit and I was like, this is so normal. It's like it's delicious, it's good, it's fantastic, but I take the first bite, it already tastes the way a raspberry does, where it's like you're like you think you're gonna bite into it, it's gonna be like that scene from Ratatouille, and your mind's going to be completely clear, and you're just going to completely be enamored and focused entirely upon the new flavor which has entered your palate, and you're going to, um, your mind is going to be enraptured with like the differences, all the little differences that you're trying for the first time, and it's like in all actuality, you take a bite and you're like, yeah, that's like a weird grape. Oh man, that's like kind of like a you could go raspberry and a mango. Like you know what I mean? It's like that's sort of like the first bite. There is no bite where it tastes like something from an alien planet. And the big thing to take away from that is not that that's depressing. It's not that like, man, there are no alien fruits. The big thing to take away from that is like, the reason that they're like that is because the fruits you already have are just as alien. A raspberry is like a weird fucking hairy collection of pods, each one with a seed in the middle. And then you eat that. A pineapple is this giant, like a rectangular orb covered in spikes with giant spikes on top. Um, every single fruit is just as bizarre.
Yeah.
Uh, and that's the takeaway. It's not like the reason that alien fruits don't taste like alien fruits is because they were all alien, not because none of them are. And that extends to everything. That's like the novelty that God brings, where everything becomes instantly alien. And so it's not that it becomes different, it's just that you can appreciate it for what it is, which is bizarre. Um, yeah, you got the Alex Gray area messages. Those are good. Um, you see that John Jones thing? I said him and Kanye are the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. That is so true. If you watch John Jones in his post-fight interviews, he's just like Kanye, where you can tell that he's like pretending to be a human being. He's like simulating what he thinks the average person is, and he's so insane that he can't even stimulate the average person properly. And yet it just
Would you say that Connor's sort of like a white version of Kanye?
no, I really wouldn't. Connor, I truly think does understand to a degree. Um,
Well,
I
he's not
think
like
that
not actually
the
mentally insane. He's playing too much of a character and also just the drugs and stuff. But Kanye is actually insane.
hmm, I don't know. Am I being biased? I guess the reason I say John Jones and Kanye the same is because they're black. No,
Yeah, of course.
it's because they both have this air of like autism, where it's like if you watch John Jones interviews, it's not he's not like in other words, like he beat Cyril Gahn and did one of the most impressive things I've ever seen by submitting him in like 30 seconds. And then the first thing he said on the mic was like, "Can I get a what?" It's like what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's like what the hell is that? Like no other fighter would do anything like that. And it's like a kind of like autism that's like you can tell he's the same kind of kid who would be like wearing a SpongeBob shirt and
Yeah.
talking about the fucking Super Smash Mob combos, but his just got so hyper that instead it became like MMA. Like you like that's what I mean. Like Connor's not quite the same. Where Connor is, if anything, more consistently evil. Where it's like Connor's just kind of like a bad person, whereas Kanye and John Jones are like these like stunted children that like don't even understand that they're doing bad things. They just have like no ability to hold on to like a solid moral code. And they are like weirdly weirdly distant from what it's like to be like. In other words, if Connor pretended to be a normal human being, I think he could do it perfectly. I think that's how charismatic Connor is. I think if Kanye and John Jones pretend to be normal people, you could still see, even if they never made music or never did martial arts, you would still see that there's something weird going
Yeah,
on
yeah.
there.
Yeah, Connor can be
Um,
tamed.
yeah, but yeah, but like I said, with that Connor, I think it's just like a more of a bad person because it's not like he's like some like mentally ill like um It's not like Connor. I think everything that Connor does that's bad is within his control, which makes it a little worse.
Because
Because it's
Kanye,
him.
poor Kanye, he got in a car accident. And I gave him autism. I just feel really bad for the guy.
Yeah, yeah. They should have kept his mouth sewn shut. Um, unless unless you're pro Palestine, I guess. In that case, let that boy sing.
I wonder, is there any other case
Boy.
of anyone in history ever getting autism from a car accident, or did he just make that up?
Oh, wait, is that a quote from him?
Yeah, remember we were talking about this on a call sometime that Kanye claimed he was autistic because of a car accident.
I think I do remember this. I don't remember it directly, but I think I remember us talking about this. Yeah.
Yeah, it gave him signs of autism. He quotes,
No, I think he had those bad boys before.
and essentially he's saying that like he doesn't have bipolar. That's just what the evil doctors told him.
For real. I mean, is he wrong?
Connor wouldn't go that far.
Um. Um. What did you think about uh ataraxiamander?
Uh, yeah, there was a few of them. What would be the final one?
I there are a couple, but ataraxiamander is pretty good. It's obviously it's ataraxia and ataraxia the same word in Greek. So ataraxiamander literally just means ataraxy and then anaximander, which is hilarious. Like that's literally you're just taking the guy who created the primal chaos and then you're just mixing his name with the word for like the serenity which comes from experiencing that primal chaos. So it's like a perfect name for that guy.
That would be pretty cool.
But
It,
like I said, you could also just go ataraximander. Like in other words, it's pronounced ataraximander. So that one you don't have ataraxia. That's literally the spelling we use, which is ataraxy. But you just pronounce it as one word, so it's ataraximander, and that one also sounds good. It's a little bit less fancy, ataraximander. You have like
honestly,
arch
but the way
ataraximander.
the first thing that comes to mind is salamander, which gives me, what if that's the name of the species for the lizards?
Um, that'd be a weird name for that kind of creature.
I don't know, like the way like ataraxia, like the way they could, you could symbolize that being their way of breathing slash seeing slash talking, um, is through ataraxia, and they are a salamander like thing.
So you'd have ataraxiamanders, you'd have arch Arthur, you'd have acythrial. Seems like you had a little too many A's going on.
Perhaps, but that could have a theme. Yeah, that would be the theme.
Also, with the arch guy being Ataraximander, first of all, we already don't know what we're gonna call him. So, like, first of all, he needs a name anyways, and this name's good. So, we should
A
probably
name other than
stick
Ark
with that.
Arthur.
Well, we already decided we weren't going with Arc Arthur. We just never decided what we were going with instead.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but also, I like specifically um this guy being named Ataraxiamander as far as um like this would be the guy to either name himself that or be named after that because its parents were always grooming him to be a scientist. Like this would be the person who like has like spent his entire life idolizing those two concepts, like the concept of ataraxy, the serenity that you receive from understanding that you are God, and um Anaximander's Aetherion, which
Yeah.
is just pure unbridled um, wrath, chaos of God. And
Or what
so,
if you fused those and had ataraxion? Sounds more like a word, but it still sounds cool.
but what? How's that a mixture?
It would be between Aetherion and ataraxy.
Yeah. Um. It sounds kind of cool. I don't know if it's a good name though, especially not like it's a
Yeah, it doesn't
little
sound
like Darth
human.
Vader. Yeah, a little Darth Vader. It does sound cool though. It'd be good if he had a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Um, but um, but I want every single person in the story to be like um a questionable person. Maybe not Baraxel. He's kind of just a dude. Everyone else, I want their morals to be very questionable.
What would Acythrial do? What would he like? What would? How would he have the
I
chance to do
imagine a
something?
lot. As far as this is something I was thinking of. There have been lots of story updates that I just haven't thought of as updates. They're just like I just think of them and say, oh, that's reality now. This one is not even definite. Like this is open to interpretation. But the lately I've been imagining a Cythriel as one of the first um AI that they ever built, as in he is entirely biological brain wise. So like he is a human. And like you cannot deny he's a human. He's made entirely up out of neurons. And all of his things function made out of neurons. But like almost everything else on him is not. So like basically to be able to handle the simulation physically, they had to make him so artificial that they were just like, fuck it, we'll just keep the brain we'll keep the brain biological and then basically build around it. And so they basically used his DNA. They used ataraxiamander's DNA, ataraxiamander. I think I like ataraxiamander better. Ataraxiamander is just a little too much shit going on. Ataraxiamander is pretty good though. It's very
Yeah,
like
it
ding
fits.
ding ding. Yeah. But so ataraxiamander, he basically he just took his DNA, made a brain, and then built a machine body around that brain. So basically, I'm thinking a Cithril, I think maybe like larger than a human being, like and significantly more powerful, and then he may have significantly more learning potential. I don't know how far we want to go in this direction. As far as you don't really want to make a Cithril too non-human. You don't want to make his experiences too non-human, or you can sort of disrupt people's potential to be able to understand him. I don't want to make him too confusing. But then also, um, I do like playing around with philosophical concepts like that, of like him like wondering if he is a human, exploring like what it means to be human, exploring the fact that like the cutoff between human and non-human really are just the resemblance to biology. A mushroom is closer to a human being than a mushroom is to a tree, so therefore that mushroom is more human than a tree is human. Human is a slider, not a binary. You know what I mean? Like exploring questions like that through the perspective of like a Frankenstein creature forced to ponder infinity is like fun. You know what I mean? Um,
And what would his like? Would he ever have a conclusion?
yeah, his conclusion would be like there is no such thing as a human.
Yeah.
Um, but because like that's the only answer that I've ever felt was satisfying, and it's never the one the sci-fi stories reach. Like they always reach some gay conclusion about like, but being a human just means to love. It's like, nope, not that. That's for sure. Um, but uh, yeah, so so basically then you have him like forcing his father into the infinity, putting him in the meat grinder so that his code is there. I imagine you're going to have him kill um several people. We could have him shut down the government project AI so that they cannot continue to like work on it in the background and perhaps take over society. um I don't know how much we want to make them take over society. I don't want to make them terrible people. I don't want to make the business people be like, hello, my name is Captain Capitalist Pig, and I'm here to eat you for money. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to be like pretty understandable, but I do want them to be like in the same way, like I just want a fucking Game Pass, and now I have to deal with all this bullshit. It's like I want them to be that, like just like corporate greed and negligence and incompetence. You know what I mean? Like I don't want them to be like a villain. I want them to be like just like
And what is their
just a
product
bunch
exactly?
um thought testers basically. I mean, but beyond that, I think imagine they're basically like the Google, right? Where it's like their product is everything, everything you
So
possibly want.
is it do they so the first thing that comes to mind is that like if they're selling thought textures to people and also the orb or the simulation is kept secret, you could have a system where I mean like the idea is they have an infinite simulation of infinite thought textures, yet they specifically sell specific ones. And
Well, it's not just that. It's specifically that they don't have infinite thought textures. They have infinite thought textures, but then what they have to do is they have to sift through them, and they have to find they basically they have to use an incredibly powerful AI to sift through the code to find ones that are like compatible with our technology. So like it has to be compatible with our dimension, our laws of physics. It has to be compatible with our understanding of mathematics at the moment, our computational limitations. So like basically,
well, they have to follow
it's
the exact
basically
laws of
like
physics. Like they can't open a world where you can fly.
no, obviously it'd be retarded. It's just that it's like imagine you have like a computer from 2004, and it's like you can technically download Fortnite, but it's like good luck running it. You know what I mean? It's like the same thing here, where it's like, in other words, like you have the code for dimensions that are much more complex than yours, but it's like I, it's like giving a caveman the code for Apex Legends. They don't have any fucking idea what to do with it. You know what I mean? It's like in the same way, there are lots and lots of code that we get that we would need such complex understandings of mathematics and such intense, um, uh, such huge computational machines, that we're not even capable of like
So does a
hammering into.
Cythriel, does he only see human like forms?
Not human like, not even close to human like. It's just simple, like similar, simpler, like you know what I mean? It's like not even more simple, just like in the same domain of simple. In the same way, like you can smoke DMT, and it's like it's incredibly different, unbelievably bizarre, unimaginable from every single perspective, not even remotely human. If you were to call that human, you'd have to be absolutely off your rocker, fucking insane. But at the same time, it's like, but it's obviously still capable under our laws of mathematics. That's what I mean. Where it's like basically like no, he sees so many things that are so far beyond human, so far beyond psychedelic, so far beyond anything you could possibly imagine. It's just that he's not seeing like the end of time, and like you know what I mean, it's not like they're looking into dimensions that are like this is the key to the super duper Klein bottle, you unlock this and now you get a genie, which it's like you know what I mean, it's like it's not, they're not seeing the like the most insane secrets to everything. It's just like they're seeing like other lives, other realities.
Yeah.
They're not seeing things that are so like in other words, I think that there are realities that are so complex out there that like seeing them would just like like it's unimaginable the consequences and the effect and like things like that. So it's like to say that like they can truly see everything would be a little questionable because you know what I mean. It's just like it just brings up so many weird questions. Like you first of all, you can see everything. How like what degree of everything? Do you see everything linearly? What does that mean? How can you see everything linearly? Like everything doesn't exist linearly. So you know it just brings up a whole bunch of questions, and those can just be simply answered by just saying no, it's just that we have a bank of code, only some of it's usable, and we have an AI sifting through it all the time, and he's going to give different results based on what he finds as he goes down the line of code. I mean, as he finds different code combinations that work in our reality, he'll let us know, but that it's random, so it's not like we're starting from the beginning of infinity or you know what I mean, or
So
anything
like
like
where
that. It's
exactly
just like
is
simply
where are they greedy?
well so I mean think about uh I said there was life, right? It's like, think like basically it's like they allow an ataraxiamander to get away with murder, if that's the way right we want to
So I
go,
guess
or at the
is
very
that
least,
the thing? A Cythriel's existence is the controversial thing, a part of the simulation, but
no,
everything else?
it's not, no, it's not. It's obviously it's beyond just like a binary like that. It's going to be that the 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 thing the result is going to be a Cythriel, but it's like that comes from a larger incompetence and greed. It comes from a larger immorality, desire to um like go beyond laws and regulations, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. It's like in other words, and yet again, I don't want them to be evil. It's like in the same way that like the Oppenheimer is not evil. He was just a scientist pushing ethical limits and created a nuke which killed thousands of people. Was it good or was it bad? I mean, in retrospect, who knows? Maybe the war would have gone on, kill more people anyway. So it's like it's all muddy. It's like maybe they discover AI and they're the only people who could have actually handled it. And if they would have released it open source, then the Nazis would have developed a Nazi bot. But you know what I mean? It's like, but it doesn't matter because we don't know that, and you need to release the information to the public and work within the public domain if you're going to be working on things that could literally be the end of humanity and God. Because if if you think that keeping this from everyone else is acceptable, then what's going to happen when you actually get the answer? Are you going to keep that from everyone else, and are you going to make yourself the top of the food chain? Or are you going to eliminate everyone else? Even if you don't, you shouldn't have the capability to be able to do that. Like it's
Is this comparable, or is it too evil? It's kind of like Coca-Cola, like being a part of assassinations of like people.
shit for a hiked up price. The same people who make the chocolate milk that we drank as kids are the exact same people who are literally upselling water to starving African children. And it's like that is the world we live in. Like that's how it is. Our iPhones, yeah, those are made by child slaves. It's like it's the exact same thing. Where it's like it's not like they're like setting up to ruin someone's day. It's just like, yep, we're gonna be. It's not even like one person. It's just like a system of idiots making stupid choices, and just one guy being like at a board meeting, and everyone else at the board raises their hand, and then the assassin gets sent out. I mean, it's like it's not one person. There's no board director. It's not anything like that. It's just like a company that has no morals other than the ones which will make them the most money.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what's going on. And so like yes, they are selling thought detectors, and that's what we were talking about before, where it's like you have like we wanted to make it where this company was so large that they had sort of integrated with the government, and so you got like thought textures for sale, um, and most people were too poor to even afford them, and then they had to do things like selling their like their selling their like neuronal blueprint and shit like that, or like literally selling their arm for a robot arm. I don't know if that would actually be beneficial at all because I think in this dimension or this story, we're going to make them at the technology level where they could just clone biology, so it wouldn't be more valuable than a technological arm, anyways. But doing shit like that, where it's like basically like the only realistic ways to make money are like to like sacrifice yourself, not even like to death, but just like to give up integral parts of yourself or to somehow get rich or famous, so that your society is now left at a point where the average person has like just enough government supplemented money to buy groceries every month and nothing else, and and then there are lots of other people. You have like the lower class and the upper class, and they're completely totally segregated. And the upper class makes all the decisions. They own all the wealth. I mean, it's like the where we're going if we do nothing at all to hit the brakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just where it's you have a society which is you have a bunch of people who have no way of rebelling because the other class is too powerful, and then you have the class that's too powerful that isn't even subjugating or enslaving the people. They're just like walking. It's like the argument with my father had. It always goes back to lots of people think that there's a sheep herder that is trying to like herd us into a worse future, and it's not that. It's just that they're gonna stomp on us. We're ants. It's an anthill. We're all in the anthill, and there's a bunch of other people that they do not give a shit if they completely and totally topple it. Their goals have nothing to do with that, and go far beyond that. So they do not give a shit if you starve to death in your little part of the ant colony. Their dreams, their goals, their visions are far too large to care about things like that. And you know what I mean? And yet again, it's like, and that even that in its own, it's like some people need to do that. There needs to be people who make those decisions, but it also needs to be somewhat democratically decided. And you know, I mean, to what degree are these people think they're smarter? Are they smarter? There have been decisions that have been made in the past that are made by smarter people, and they should have been because the idiots would have picked the wrong decision. So yet again, I want it to be very muddy. I want absolutely nothing to be clear in the end. I don't want there to be these are the good guys and these are the bad guys. I want it to be like Jesus fucking Christ, that was brutal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want it to be the farthest thing from a Marvel movie you could ever imagine. Um, yeah.
So when it gets broken out, like the whole story, would the highlight of it be that they would be involved with murders to create this product in general?
No, no. I don't think there's gonna be a highlight. I think it's gonna be so wide. It's gonna be like animal abuse and AI abuse, get like simulating human brains and torturing them to get data, and
So
creating
would Art
human.
Arthur's activities and any of that stuff that would not be revealed to the public?
No, it is. It's just not a. It's not a highlight. It's not any worse or better than anything else. It's all just. It's all terrible. Like in the same way, like there was that rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. I think it is true. The CDC was using sand fleas to eat baby beagles alive, and they would rip out their voice cords separately just to keep them quiet. Like that wasn't even a part of the experiment. They just also ripped out their voice cords so they didn't have to hear the beagles getting eaten by sand fleas, getting eaten alive. Like you understand? Like that is what I mean. It's like there isn't a highlight. There's not one thing that's bad and there's one thing that's good. It's like it's a bunch of shit like
I'm not
that.
saying like
It's
something
just
that would be the label. I'm saying like what would appear on the headlines when it's like, oh, this big company that everyone knows. Here are the list of crimes they've done, and the things that people don't like them for. There'd probably be a list on it, like a news bulletin.
yeah, but it's like there would be like thousands of things on it. It's like basically it's like and obviously there would be like a tier list and like acythrial would be maybe one of the higher ranked things. But I could also see maybe that's not even the thing that people focus on the most. Like maybe that's one of the more interesting ones, and it is definitely horrific. And after Braxel exposes it from his thought texture perspective, then obviously it will be especially horrific. People will be able to experience what it's like to be the equivalent of a brain boosted toddler experiencing hell. And so obviously like that is horrific, but it's just like I think the headlines aren't going to be like this company did this. I think the headlines are going to be um just like Jesus fucking Christ. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to be like one thing. It's just going to be like my God, as I'm
Yeah,
sure everyone has heard already. Look at this laundry list of shit. Um and yeah, that's the gist. Um but so so yeah, I don't recommend. Um Yeah, that was crazy. Whenever I was literally looking in the mirror and my face was melting and shifting like it was exactly like I was in Sub 1. Oh, yeah. So you know the part of Sub 1 where you can work out and you can get to the point where you're literally about to throw up? And it's not like you're Superman. It's like you just didn't care about getting tired. You know what I mean? It's not like you're like, look at this. I'm capable of just pushing away the tiredness. I'm capable of meditating it away. It's like it's not there to meditate away. You just like your body can get physically exhausted and you can literally push right up into the point where you physically collapse. And it's just like um it never registers as a real problem. You know what I
it's
mean?
just like you just have that
Uh
God energy.
yeah, but it's beyond. I would say there's a part of Sub 1 which is the mental effect, and that can create the illusion of like God energy. But I would say there's an entirely separate physical effect, which is
Yeah, just like us
just.
running through the hills and it's like it never stopping. There's never like, oh, I got to catch up for breath or anything like that.
Yeah, and like God energy, really, what really God energy would be is God energy would be the like transformation of the misery. But like what Sub 1 does is it somehow makes it where like you just never get miserable. It's not
Yeah,
like you have better mental acuity to disregard the misery. The misery just is never there to disregard. And that's what I mean whenever I say the but yes, it is highly attached to the God energy. You're absolutely correct in saying that the God energy is essentially the same exact thing because the God energy always comes with this, and the God energy is just it's like it goes beyond the neutral view and it goes into the positive view where you not just you don't view yourself as not feeling misery, but you take pride in the fact you're not feeling misery, which makes you feel better and allows you to go for longer because you have positive framework. But basically that's all Adderall, all of it. There's none of that which is not. It's not a single piece of that which is not. The God framework is. It absolutely is. You don't get any of that with Adderall. You don't get any feeling of like um interdimensional super soldier. Uh, but like I was doing a bike workout today, and when I got off the bike, I wasn't tired. I wasn't getting off the bike because I was tired. I was just going up to get inside to go inside, and I thought I was gonna keep. I thought I could have kept going for like another 15, 30 minutes. Although I was like panting and stuff. Um I thought my like legs and muscles and stuff were completely fine. And anyways, I got off the bike and I was literally like I couldn't walk right. My legs were so sore um, that I could not I could not physically walk without my legs like crouching too much. Like they were weak. Like I had worked them out so much that they no longer even had the
and you only
strength
notice that after
capacity.
stopping.
Yeah, and I only noticed after stopping, which is the exact kind of thing that happens on Sub 1, where you
Yeah.
get to the top of a hill and then you sit down and then you're like, holy
Yep.
shit, yeah, I'm exhausted. And that's exactly what this was. It was it was I mean, you could it was clear as day, the exact same thing, where I just didn't notice. I was so focused on what I was thinking about. It never even came to mind that I was physically tired. It was never even a thought to disregard or anything. It was the exact same thing. So I'm telling you, man, it is fascinating how much of the things that I always um like loved Sub 1 for are just not necessary anymore. Like it's almost like the only thing that Sub 1 does different anymore than just my natural baseline state is the the like Snapchat filters on your thoughts. That's like all it does now.
Yeah.
Is it just adds like all those weird the ability for thoughts to like echo and loop and all that weird shit. But it's like honestly, like 90% of the like um religious feelings, I guess, I can just kind of do myself now. It's like it really does kind of feel like, and it is kind of sad to say, um, it does kind of feel like I just kind of graduated. You know what I mean? Like, what is it saying? You tune in and then you tune out, or whatever the fuck, and then you do the Looney Tuny and you spin all about. What is it? Alan Watts or whatever.
Tune
You know what I'm
in,
talking about?
tune in, something, drop out.
Tune in, drop out. Yeah, whatever. You said that that was Terrence McKenna talking about weed, where it's like you do it for a long time and then you just stop or something like that, right?
That was Alan Watts. That well, the other saying is once you get the message, hang up the phone from Alan
That's
Watts.
what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I think maybe we got the message. I don't know.
Yeah, at the very least, the last few experiences haven't done anything. But I know that
Well,
if I
but
if
yeah, we
go,
need to try those paper ones, and we need to
yeah
try like 3 or 5 at a time.
yeah that would prove it.
Yeah, it would. What'd you think of um Assalamu alaikum, alaikum assalam? I should turn off bacon for them, cook them for their mom.
I'll say that again.
Uh, I said assalamu alaikum, alaikum assalam. I say turning off the bacon for them, cook them for their mom.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
Absolutely. I made that. Where do you think about that bar?
um, yeah. Where is that? I want to read that.
That's it's multiple days ago. It's October 23rd. It looks like in our text messages. Are you recording right now?
Yeah.
Okay, pause it or stop real quick.